Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Scott Morris, coming to you from Austin, Texas. Most of you know me from the oil money. I want to thank everybody for being with us today. I know it's hard to get away during the day for a webinar. Before we get started, I'd like to make sure that you can see my picture. It says welcome, and that you can hear me clearly. If I could just get a handful of you to type a Y into the question box there. There you go. Thank you very much, Stephen, Richard, Celso, Kathy. Very good. That's good enough. I appreciate it. Now, many of you may be wondering what this means. Welcome to a very exclusive society of winners. And you're going to find out very quickly what that means and how you can become a part of it. We called our program Forex Mobility. Chris and I sat down and talked about this. And the way we came up with this name was we discussed what it has given us, and the main thing that it's given us in our lives is mobility and freedom. And when I've talked to my customers over the years, the one thing that they want trading to give them is freedom and mobility. And in this world today, which is very different in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to money and the movement of money, the freedom and flexibility of money, I recently had this experience that was really strange. I have a client in Europe who I do coaching for, and he owed me some money in the $10,000 range. And because of all of the limitations and restrictions on how we move money around the world now, it took me over 3 weeks to receive those funds. The funds had been removed from his account. They didn't show up in my account for 3 weeks, and we had to do a lot of running around. And so the ability for a person, a citizen of the world, especially of the US, to have money, to have trading accounts and successful trading that is mobile and flexible is a very, very important thing that we need to think about in terms of our investments, in terms of our safety, and in terms of having all the money that we need for when we're going to need it. And just to go one little step further in that direction, one of the people that consults for me as far as asset protection recently told me, he said, it's really, really hard for us to work with Americans these days. And most of the banks around the world don't even want American accounts because the government puts a lot of pressure on them. And if the bank doesn't cooperate, they put sanctions on the bank. Okay. So Forex Mobility was born out of a frustration of where our government is going, what it's doing with capital controls, and how it is sort of trying to manage all of us. And we created this business. Chris, who's my partner, I'm going to introduce you to him in a minute. um, Fascinating guy. He's ex-Army Ranger, ex-Army Cobra attack helicopter pilot. When he was 25 years old, he was firing TOW missiles at the enemy. Okay. From the Army, he went to the airlines and worked for Southwest and Northwest for the next 20 years or so. And then for the last almost 12 years, he's been a full-time trader and designing trading systems for many customers all around the world, and proud to have him as a partner and now working almost exclusively for our own benefit, his and mine, creating systems that have been, that he's been planning and executing and perfecting for the last 11 years. Recently, he had a breakthrough, and the logic, and he'll talk more about this when he gets on, but the logic that is driving Forex Mobility and a new program that we're going to release this week called Pivot Scalper is based on this logic that he has known existed for the last 11 and a half years. He's tried to find it. And one night, just a few weeks ago, he realized it. He discovered it. And a guy that has the kind of history that Chris has is not prone to, getting too excited about things. But he was pretty excited about this. He came over, told me about it, and that's one of the reasons why Forex Mobility's release has been delayed, because we now had to incorporate this new discovery that he made. So anyway, that's a little bit about Chris. I'm also going to introduce you guys to our preferred brokers, who many of you probably already know and have accounts with. It's Global Futures in Tarzana, California, represented today by two guys that I've been working with for over 6 years. Most of my customers have been introduced to through my website, and that is Rick Contra and Trenton Kimineo, and they'll be with us here in just a minute. But let me go ahead and get started. There are a few things that we need to know and that I want to make crystal clear and explain. This program is not something that we are going to advertise, okay, like normal, like do it through webinars, webinar swaps with other people's lists. We're not going to do Facebook ads or Google ads. This is going to be a very closed society, and there's a reason for that. I touched on it earlier, but we don't want to make this public, okay? It's going to be very tight. And one of the reasons is we just don't want a lot of people knowing about it, all right? We want a certain number, and we're going to open it and limit it to just 1,000 individuals worldwide. And the way our customers are going to come to us is through the people who use Forex mobility, understand its power, realize its power and financial benefit to you, and pass it on to people that you know, love, and trust. But each person who joins Forex mobility will only be able to refer, if you will, 5 people. And those 5 people will be given the same warning to not discuss this in any way, shape, or form on a public forum. If we find that anybody has discussed Forex mobility on a public forum, then that person is going to be banned. All right. Now, once we reach that 1,000 members, FM will be closed and there will be a waiting list. All right. And I'll tell you in just a minute what happens if you're on the waiting list. So what's going to happen next? So let me run through, and this is also the most unusual way, and please try to avoid reading my slide here. I didn't animate it to have these things pop in so that I could make you not read them, but just try to listen to my voice and don't try to get ahead of me. This is what we're going to do today, all right? I want to tell you right up front, instead of making everybody wait till the end. I don't like wasting anybody's time. That's why I start my webinars right on the dot. It doesn't matter if somebody comes in late, it's just too bad. They'll have to check out the recording later. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to our preferred brokers, okay, Trenton and Rick. Then Chris, who is the genius who made this discovery that we've incorporated into Forex Mobility, is going to demonstrate a brief glimpse of Forex Mobility, show you how it works, show you the logic. You can see it for yourself. Then I will return at the end and make you our offer. The offer is simply this. I want you to use Forex Mobility for 2 weeks for $1. Okay? I'm actually going to show you where the cancel button is. All right? I'm not going to hide it anywhere. I'm not going to make it difficult for you. You're not going to have to call me or email me if you want to cancel and not be charged. I'm going to show you on the website where the cancel button is, and all you're going to have to do is click that button, enter your email, and we part friends. All right? After that 2-week period, though, if you want to keep it for a month, and this is a month-to-month gig, you will pay our introduction or promotional price of $97, and that price will be locked in for 1 year. After that, it's going to be $147. The introductory period is going to be good from the day we launch, which is going to be later on this week. There's absolutely nothing to buy right now. This is just for information. All right, so when we release it later this week, you'll get an email, an invitation, and you'll have probably 3 days in which to grab it for $1, test it for a week. If you decide to stay, you'll be able to lock in the price of $97 a month for the rest of the year. Okay, you can come in anytime after that, having been introduced by this webinar, and buy it for $147 a month. Okay, now if you cancel, if you join and you cancel, you can't return. Your seat will at the table will be relinquished to the next person who's waiting in line. Okay? As I said, after the promotional offer is made, the price increases to $147. This offer will be emailed in addition to the, let me see, we've got 80 people on the webinar right now. So in addition to you guys, there were a total of about 350 people who, from my original list from the oil money, who expressed an interest in Forex mobility. So we will be emailing the recorded version of this webinar to the remaining 220 people, 230 people. All right. And then they will have the opportunity to get in at $97 as well. Once that occurs, then we'll have a 3-day period, a 72-hour period where you can do it, and then we'll increase the price to $147. So you've got plenty of time to get in, test it, make sure this is for you. And then I want to encourage everyone to open and fund an account with either GlobalFutures, or if you already have a broker for your Forex trading, you've got to fund that. You should fund that with a minimum of $500 immediately. In fact, one of the main reasons why we're doing the information webinar today and we're not opening it up to anyone is because we want to maximize your time in your 2-week trial and give you the maximum amount of time to use it and actually make money. Instead of sell you something today, then spend the next 3 days setting up your account, funding your account, learning how to use it. By that time, a week has gone by. Now you're only getting to use it for a week. So this way, you have an opportunity now, several days, to get your account set up with the guys at Global. All right, get all set up. Then we release it to you. Bam, you'll learn how to use this thing in 30 minutes. You'll actually know how to use it when Chris gets done with you. But this is the difference, and this is why it's so important that you open a live account and fund it with a minimum of $500. Any of you folks who have been with me in the oil money, we're trading futures over there, and it's expensive, okay? The margins are high. And so if you are going to start trading with real money, I encourage people actually to learn how to use the system sim trading. But then when you make the transition from simulated trading to real live trading with real money, your psychology is scrambled immediately. Okay. And there's not anything similar. You're all of a sudden, you learned how to play one game, and now you're playing a completely different game because your emotions are now involved. All right. Sim trading, there's no risk. Real live trading, there is risk. So with Forex mobility, we don't want to play that game because we have the ability to trade micro lots. And when you're trading micro lots, it's small amounts of money, all right, 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks, but it's real money. So there's no psychology change when you move from trading micro lots to mini lots to standard lots. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. It's going to be the learning curve is going to be really, really great, really, really fast, and you'll never have to transition from play money to real money. Okay. Now, as I said earlier, a waiting list, once we've reached the 1,000 members, then we will establish a waiting list, and new members can only join when someone dies, quits, or is banished for violating these rules. Okay, the main rule being don't tell anybody except 5 close family members and friends. All right. This is really, really serious. I know it's probably some of you are chuckling because this is a commercial venture. Why don't we want anybody to know about it? Well, because I have a very, very close-knit group of people who have been following me and working with me for many years now. All right. You guys know how I do things. We know that in just the group that I've been working with for the last 6 years are those 1,000 people. Okay. And that's all we want to do. That's plenty of money. All right. And actually, Chris and I and Trenton and Rick, we've got other plans. Okay. And the main plan is we don't intend to be working very far past 2015. I hope you guys will join us. This is your vehicle. Okay. And then I guess I'm just reiterating here. I'm really serious when I say this. This is not a marketing prank. This is how we are running this business. Okay. So without any further delay, I'm now going to introduce you to Chris. Chris is going to go through the actual machine, the actual trading platform that you're going to be using, and he's going to show you how it works. So now I'm going to, oh, he's unmuted himself already. Okay, Chris, so you're unmuted there. Why don't you start introducing yourself while I futz with the screen here and send that over to you.
Okay, everybody, great to be here for the webinar. And basically, what I'm going to do is I want to get into, what's powering the signals. And the reason I want to cover that is there's a lot of Forex signal services out nowadays, and I've spent months literally, uh, investigating how are vendors or how are traders putting out signals to the public. And what I found out is about 80% of them are putting out signals to the public in a way that to me is just it's not workable, it's not reliable. So I've had to spend a lot of time digging in and finding and researching what are the software or the services out there where I can take a signal that's created by an automated trading system on the MT4 platform, and this is an MT4 platform here. This is the very common, most widely used platform in the Forex market. This is the same platform that you can get from GlobalFutures, and it's a really easy platform to work with. And all in all, what's going to happen is we're going to have a piece of software running on our master MT4 platform. At our the only guy that's going to be in charge of managing and overseeing the day-to-day operations of the master MT4 platform that I will have running on a server. So we'll have a master platform just like you see here running on a server. In the beginning, we'll have a certain number of currency pairs, the major currency pairs, and I will have two of my fully automated on a certain grouping of currency pairs and another automated system running on the second set of currency pairs. In the end, both of these automated systems have very similar a different grouping of time frames. All in all, on your end, there's not really anything that you have to do or worry about as far as the management of what's creating the signals and sending them to you. All you're going to do on your end is you're going to download a simple piece of software. It will have an interface and it will allow you to have access to signals that will appear on your chart. So uh, and it's kind of been frantic the last few weeks because I had this breakthrough. So I had to take everything I'd already built, was all ready to launch it. Now I've had to completely deconstruct it, get the programmers to build up this new uh, kind of find that I had or discovery into my prior systems, get that all working, get it fully automated, and now link it to the remote trade copier software and then go test it all over again. So that's where I'm at. And I had to test about three major pieces of software to find out which one was most reliable. And that was a pretty tedious process since I really didn't have a lot of experience with that type of software from the past. Now that I've spent a lot of time investigating it, understand how they work, what were the strengths and weaknesses, I now have that zeroed in. So what's going to happen when you purchase or you subscribe to the Forex Mobility Trial, you will get to have access to a members area of the page, and we're going to show you how to take your MT4 platform.
All right, you guys stand by. Looks like we've lost Chris. Let me see what's going on here.
Okay, I'm still on audio. Can you hear me now, Scott? Okay, I'm still on audio. Can you hear me now, Scott? I think it's the distance from your Wi-Fi. I had to move from there. It kept dropping offline. Okay, let's try this and see if you're able to hear me now. So let me take a quick look in the chat. If you guys can hear me right now, just let me know. Type a Y in. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Looks like
Looking
we're
good
having
now.
some. Yeah, looks. I've noticed this entire webinar. It seems like the Skype, or not Skype, but the GoToWebinar side has been not at its usual typical reliability level for audio connection. So anyhow, the main thing is we're going to have a piece of software you're going to download, and it's going to allow you to connect your MT4 platform to our master MT4 platform, and it will literally put symbols right on your chart. So let's just talk about some signals. Here's the US, or this is the pound dollar, for instance. And here's some signals, some long signals, some short signals. For instance, here's a signal, and just so you kind of get an idea of what kind of distance of price movement, just from this point to this point is 100 pips of price movement. So obviously, if somebody gets into a trade on a signal that pops up on your chart that's commanded from our master MT4 platform running on a server, we will show you in the training content where to put your stop, where to take off initial targets, and then how to let your trade stay in for any running positions that you have. So the system is exceptionally robust, fully automated, and our fully automated system, when it activates an entry, it then sends that signal immediately to your MT4 platform and pops up a symbol on your chart. So you'll know whether to go long or short and the pricing levels. So it's very simple. And this is one system that we're going to be running. We're going to short trade, short trade, short trade, short trade. We're in a long trade. So I think if you watch some of the videos, we've shown you the strength of the system. The system's exceptionally robust. And in the training content, we're going to show you Master MT4. All you have to do then is just follow a very simple in-trade management that we'll teach in the members area. And all that will be is getting into the trade, setting an initial target, and it's not that difficult. The training content is fairly straightforward. So I just wanted to show you some of the system, showing you how robust it is. We have shown some of this before, but all in all, it's going to be very easy for you to set up the software, have connectivity to our master MT4, and then be receiving the signals on your end. Of course, at all during the install of the one piece of software and the setup and the connectivity to us, we'll be working with everybody that's coming on board to Forex Mobility to make sure everybody's set up properly and ready to go. And the training content that we'll have be seeing on your end once you set up the connectivity software, which is called a remote trade copier, to your MT4 platform to our MT4. So you have to have an MT4 platform for this to work. You can't use NinjaTrader or multi-charts or TradeStation or any of those. This will only work for now with the MT4 platform. So I guess since we're having a little bit of connectivity issues, it seems that GoToWebinar servers may be having some issue. And standing by for our announcement and our instructions on how to get started. So
Okay.
with that said, I'll pass this over to you, Scott. I'll
All
stop
right.
sharing my screen.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, that was a little inconvenient, annoying. I'm going to go ahead and get Trenton on right away so that they can go through their presentation. So Trenton, you should have control of the screen right now. There you go. Trenton, you're unmuted and looking good.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us today. Everybody hear us okay?
Sounding good.
Great. All right. Before we start, we'd like to stress that there is a substantial risk of loss in Forex trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. You should only trade on risk equity, meaning money that you can afford to lose. The risk of loss in trading Forex can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. The high degree of leverage that is often obtainable in Forex trading can work against you as well as for you. The use of leverage can lead to large losses as well as large gains. All right, we're happy to join you today. This is Trenton, and we'd like to tell you a little bit about the services we offer at Global Futures. We'll be guiding you through the process of opening a Forex account to use the Administrator 4 platform. First, I would like to give you some background on Rick and myself, as well as our company. Rick and I are both senior brokers with Global Futures, and between the two of us, we have over 23 years of combined experience. We take pride in assisting our clients to the best of our abilities, and we believe you will find that we take a very customer service-oriented approach to our business. Global Futures Exchange and Trading Company Incorporated is located in Tarzana, California, and we're supported and enhanced by global technology. Our platforms are designed to provide powerful, reliable, and value-added broker solutions. The company has been registered with the CFTC and NFA member since 1998, and we have a solid and loyal client foundation over the years that we've built.
Hi, I'm just going to hop in here. My name is Rick Contra. Thank you. Just want to let you know that when, you know, a lot of times you might have a question of why go with an IB instead of the Forex clearing house. The reason for that is usually Forex clearing houses are taking care of large clients. They work with IBs so that the common retail client will get better service. So we try to, or we definitely provide that to our clients over the years. And it's something that we specialize in, and we're dedicated to taking care of our clients and their needs. Just to let you know that we have a 24-hour office, so if there's anything that you ever need with the platform, we are here, as well as having a live chat on our website as well.
Thank you, Rick. Now we're going to go into how to go about opening a Forex trading account. Before you apply for an account, please contact us via phone or email. You can shoot us an email, give us a call, and that way we can email you the full instructions. The first step from the email will be a link to a page where you're going to fill out an online application from the Global Futures website. And this is what it will look like. So once you have received our email, you follow the first step. You're going to end up here. You'll fill out a quick preliminary page. It has your name, phone number, email, just basic information. This step is important because it lets Rick and I know that you have started the application and gives us your information in case if you haven't contacted us already, or at least we know that you're in the process. So after submitting this slide, you're going to come to a page where you're asked to choose a Forex clearing firm. We work with multiple clearing firms. You're going to want to choose Gain Capital, the one I have circled here, and you simply will click on the online application. So very simple. Once you get to this next step, online application under Gain Capital, this will bring you to an account type page. This page, you're basically going to want to choose that you want to use Administrator 4 platform. So it's important that you choose the correct selection here. U.S. clients are going to choose Gain Capital U.S. right here where it says Administrator 4 platform. Anyone other than U.S. clients are going to choose the U.K. division of Gain Capital and select Administrator 4 platform. And that will bring you to the application page. This is an account type page. And here, once you've started, this is a secure online account application on Gain Capital's website. So you'll have 4 sections to complete here, which is create an account, about you, status and experience, and finish. Each of these will show you as you're going through the steps so that you know where you're at in the application. You'll be asked to read and acknowledge several customer agreements, risk disclosures, and acknowledge the various risks involved with trading Forex. Please keep in mind this is an official application, so you need to take your time, make sure you're filling this information in correctly. Don't miss anything, and if you have questions, get a hold of us so we can help you. It may seem kind of silly, but you want to make sure that you spell your name correctly. Don't use a nickname. Use the name that's shown on your identification. These are some of the things that can cause delays. So go through that, take your time, make sure you understand everything, and be sure to call us if you have any questions. Also on this first page, you're going to choose the type of account here. Most of you will most likely be doing an individual account, which means it's just under your name. There are also choices for corporate, joint applications, LLC, and so forth. So once you've completed each step here, you're going to be taken to an additional items page. You'll notice this has 6 different tabs. From this page, you've got the 6 tabs: home, additional documents, tax forms, fund your account, confirmation, and logout. To complete the application, you have to get through these steps. Just because you filled out the form does not mean you're done. You have to do this final section before the application is submitted. So first you will use the additional documents tab to upload an ID. Non-US residents are actually required to submit 2 forms of ID. The way you'll do this is you'll click on Upload Documents. Then you'll be brought to a page here where you're actually going to choose the file that you're uploading. You'll need to have your identification scanned on your computer as a JPEG file or a Word document or a PDF file. Just some type of common file that you can go ahead and select to upload by clicking on here. You may also be asked to submit a proof of residence, such as a recent utility bill or a bank statement that shows your address. And that would be uploaded in the same way. Once you complete that, you're going to be brought to the Tax Forms tab. This will have you complete and electronically sign the appropriate tax form for your situation. Follow the instructions on the page, and that's going to guide you as to which one that you want to use for your correct form, such as W-9 for people in the US or the W-8 BEN for non-US personnel. Once you're done with that, you'll actually receive a message here saying that your form has been successfully submitted. You want to make sure that you get this. Next is the Fund Your Account tab, which you can take care of this now or at a later time. Clicking this tab will take you to a list of funding instructions. You can also find the funding instructions on the GlobalFutures website. I really think it's best for you to wait until you have received the final approval of your account, just to ensure that you're able to fund the account. After that, you're going to receive the Confirmations Form tab, which will take you to a confirmations page where you can also print your application. Before your account can be finalized, you must send a valid government-issued ID and a proof of address, such as utility bill or bank statement that shows your name and address to GlobalFutures. We will be emailing you to let you know if there are any other items needed to finalize the application. If at any point during the application you need assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us. You can call or email, whichever is easier for you. That kind of sums up opening the account. The next thing I wanted to mention briefly is the MetaTrader 4 platform. As was already discussed, MetaTrader 4 is a very popular, probably the most popular Forex platform. You're going to receive instructions for this via email, but you will not be able to access your live platform until your account is funded. We will be very glad to help you getting the platform set up.
Yeah, basically, when you get the demos and you'll need any help with it, you can call our tech staff, as I mentioned earlier. Again, we're open 24 hours a day, and you just ask for our tech desk. We have direct lines to those desks. And they'll basically be able to take the time to walk you through the setup, show you how the platform works, and help you get your charting going. So it's all pretty simple. But once you get the demo, if you need any help, we're here to support that. That's what we pride ourselves on, our service.
Thank you, Rick. This time, we would like to go through a question and answer period where we will have Scott ask us some of the most common questions that we received to hopefully kind of help you guys out and have a heads up on some of these that are most common. So Scott, would you mind asking us our list of questions there?
Yes, indeed. Let me take my screen back here. Let me find myself. I used to get all freaked out when I was doing this before. Oh, there I am. Okay, because I've got these all on slides, so. Okay, so here we go. Now, someone just asked a question about can you help people in Canada and Quebec County, and I think that's the moment that you put up that that last bit. So I think that question was answered. And so your first question then would be, what methods can I use to fund my account?
Well, you can do a wire or a debit card, or you can do a paper check. The funding instructions will be provided to you, and we also have it on our website. So that'll all be available, but those are the three basic ways to fund the account.
Nice.
Next question.
Next question.
Yeah, earlier you had you were using the acronym IB, and I'm not sure that everybody knows what an IB is. Can you fill us in?
Yes, an IB is introducing broker. Introducing brokers work with clearinghouses, basically to facilitate non-professional accounts, basically your average retail client. It helps the clearing firm generate more business by being able to have IBs work with them. Basically, we provide a better service than they can, even though they have all the clearing ability. We work with them to give them and provide more clients.
And I can vouch for that.
Introducing broker, which is
Right.
Okay. Where are my funds going to be held?
all right. So it's important to understand Global Futures does not hold your funds. Your funds are held in Gain Capital's customer funds account, which is at Bank of America. So it's not held by Global Futures. It's Bank of America with Gain Capital's customer account.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
And how do I withdraw my funds?
You will have a withdrawal request form that you can complete as an online customer portal. Basically, it's a website you have that you log into, and you can request there by filling out an online form. And we also have this form available on our website in case if you have any difficulty finding it.
Okay. D. Bach has a question. What amount of dollars should we open an account with? The minimum that you can open the account with is $500. I think we're going to cover that here in the next slide, actually. No, slide after that. So what leverage will I have trading Forex?
U.S. clients are going to have a 50-to-1 leverage. International clients may have more. You can contact us if you have any questions about that, but it's 50-to-1 leverage for all U.S. clients.
Okay. And what are the commissions I'll be paying?
With Forex accounts, there's not a commission, but we are compensated with a bid-ask spread. So you're going to be charged a bid-ask spread whenever you enter a trade. That's how your broker is compensated. There are no additional commissions on top of the bid-ask spread. And in regards to that, I don't know if you have another slide of this, Scott, but you probably are wondering, what are the spreads? The answer is that they're a variable spread, and it varies depending on which currency pair. What we have is a typical spreads table that you can find on our website, and we can provide you a link to that if you would like to look at that.
Okay. Mohammed has a really good question here. He says, I already have MT4 account. Do I need to open a new account for Forex Mobility with Global?
I don't believe you have to. Scott, we have to stick to our questions, and any other questions they have for us, they're going to need to email us.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry, that's how the thing works here.
Gotcha. Okay, what are the spreads? Okay, so what are the spreads was our final slide. Have you covered that, or do you?
But what are the spreads is what I was just mentioning. We have a list of the typical spreads or variable spreads, and you can find them on our website. Just shoot us a quick email. We can send you the direct link, or you can find them under our website for Forex spreads.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you guys so much. That brings us to the conclusion. We've gone under 45 minutes. Very, very well done. Sorry about the technical issues we had, fellows, ladies. But hey, you know, that happens sometimes. We've got 3 people in 3 different locations around the country here, and sometimes those things happen. However, it didn't disturb too many people because we only lost 2 people from the time we started. So I really, really appreciate your attention. And even though, you know, whenever you have technical difficulties, you tend to lose enthusiasm, momentum, and, you know, it's just annoying as hell. So I want to take you back to the first slides that I showed and really impress on you and make you think about what we're talking about here. Naturally, we have to go through all these disclaimers. We've got to go through the technical part of setting up an account and so forth. And if you have any questions, any more questions for Rick and Trenton, please email those to those guys. Okay. Here's the reality of this is that, let me mute those guys. They're moving chairs around. The reality is that the government has constantly got their nose in our business. And so we've got to do that. We've got to do that to satisfy them and so that we can stay in business. And it's one of the reasons why I want to keep this very tight. I don't want this to be, I don't have any interest whatsoever in having 5 or 10,000 members that are using Forex Mobility. And that's why we're making it a limited availability. And the only people that will have an opportunity to talk about it to anyone is in a private way, in a private conversation with your family and friends. That's how we want to do it. That's how we're going to do it. But I want to take you back to that the original theme of where Forex Mobility came from, where the oil money came from in the very beginning, and what I've been wanting and trying to achieve ever since we started this whole thing. And that is personal freedom, financial freedom, and flexibility. And that in the end is what everybody wants. Flexibility and freedom to do whatever we want. This right here is going to give you the money that you need, the flexibility you need, and the freedom that you need to live any way and anywhere that you want. Chris says he's got a few more slides, so Trenton does. Okay, well, stick around. Nothing like being completely discombobulated here. So, let me see here. Okay, let me find Trenton. You guys, stay with me. There he is. So I'm going to give the screen back to Trenton. There you go, Trent. You got it. And I guess I better unmute your. Okay, Trent, you're unmuted and you got the screen.
All right, I really appreciate it. Sorry, Scott, we just had our final slides that we needed to wrap up with.
Oh, okay.
So I do appreciate it. Basically, we needed to, after the questions, we just needed to reiterate the risk. Rick and I want to remind everyone there's a substantial risk of loss in trading. Forex past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. And also, we just really wanted to thank you for having us. You know, once again, it was really a pleasure presenting for you today. I know that we can only cover some basic questions, so if you have any further questions at all, don't hesitate to call us or email us. So I have our contact information up there right now. I highly encourage you just to jot down our email address and get a hold of us anytime. And we really look forward to assisting you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're good now. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, so guys, what I encourage you to do now is get in touch with Trenton and Rick, get set up, get your account open. Chris and I are going to be releasing Forex Mobility later this week. Okay, stand by for an email from us. We'll probably load you up with emails letting you know. We want to make this really fast and furious. Then get Forex Mobility once you've established your account. And anyway, that wraps it up for us. Go ahead and contact those guys. Get your $500 minimum deposit on so that when you get Forex Mobility, you can immediately start trading. Now, we talk about trading, and those guys obviously are brokers. They've got to be very careful what they say, and I respect that so much. I don't have to be so careful. I can say things like money. We want to make money. That's why we're in this game. They can't even talk about it. It's like a big secret, you know. But you guys know what we're talking about here. We're talking about making a big pile of money so we can live anywhere and any way that we want. That's why Chris and I are making this available to you guys. We want every single person who's on my interest list to be in Forex Mobility, but there are only 1,000 seats, and I've got 11,000 people on my list. So I would encourage you highly to get started early. Give those guys a call right now if you have the time, and I will see you guys toward the end of the week, and I'll put this amazing Forex Mobility in your hands to test drive for 2 solid weeks. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys later.